Introspecting is the mother of all self-awareness, self-help books. So what is introspecting? I introspect on a daily basis, actually. It's more like I overthink every scenario that happened that day, the day before that. It's just a constant loop of every night. Like, oh, you remember you did this when you were 15? Yeah, that was stupid. But what introspecting is essentially you look at the situation that you have. Let's say you're interviewing somewhere. So after you interview at a place with a hiring manager, with HR, whether it's a phone interview, video interview, or even an in-person interview, you kind of want to step back, go home, step back, and think about how it went. I don't know how many of you have seen Black Mirror, but Black Mirror, there's an episode where people can uh, replay what happened throughout the day, and they can see the other person's uh, small details and small facial expressions and stuff like that. So now I'm not saying we are all going to be able to remember every single detail of every single person that we are talking to, but I keep saying, I'm trying to stop saying, there I go again. But what happens is when you are introspecting, you're kind of taking yourself away from the situation. So you're looking at it from a third person perspective. Imagine if you were watching two people converse and you were watching them, right? You're not involved, um, you don't have any stake in the race, any horse in the race. You're just looking at two people conversing and then making a decision of how it went, what one person said versus what another person said. So, introspecting is similar. When I have a conversation with somebody and I think, okay, well, that didn't go as well as I had hoped it would. So what do? I take a step back and I replay the entire conversation in my head, and I go to a quiet place where I don't need to talk to anybody, I don't need to see anybody, even my cats are not allowed there. So I go there, I start thinking about how the conversation went, what the other person was doing, how the other person was reacting, how I was reacting, and figure out where I was wrong and what I did right versus wrong. And so when you're interviewing, going back to it, when you're interviewing, you want to introspect because that will help you realize where you missed out. Maybe you said something that didn't sit well with the other person, and you have to be in that moment when you're interviewing. Otherwise, you're not introspecting is not going to help because you're not going to remember. You have to realize how the other person's reacting. It's not just about you, it's also about the other person. So, and this goes same for the recruiters, because if you're a recruiter and you're not introspecting of how the candidate is reacting to a certain question, or how the hiring manager is reacting to a certain question that you're asking, it's going to be really hard for you as a person and as a professional to grow. You can buy all the self-help books in the market. Honestly, you can buy all the self-help books in the market, but it's not going to help if you don't implement this one thing, which is introspecting. And there's a fine line between introspecting and overthinking. And I'm the queen of overthinking. So take it from me. When I say this, don't overthink. I want you to introspect, not to overthink, not to all the reasons it could have gone right. No, that's not what this is about. It's about learning from your mistakes in those interviews and implementing them better next time. Because if you said something about your old boss that didn't sit well with the interviewer, then now when you're introspecting, you're going to know that, hey, I said something that didn't sit well, I need to rephrase that. That's how introspecting helps. Yeah, so that's today's topic. Let me know what your thoughts are below, and we'll talk to you later.